I'm going to starting my videos with 10 seconds of silence just to get rid of all the riffraff and the new people. Society is poisonous. But I have kind of a problem because I don't know how to tell people about this. Well, for one thing, YouTube doesn't want me telling people about this. Gonna get restricted in different ways on this kind of topic, but what can I do? This is what I think about, so I got to talk about what I think about. Society is toxic and poisonous. It creeps into everything. This hierarchical power structure it's all built on, the lies and deception, the fakeness. Everybody's pretending. Everyone's trying to play their role and fit into their little part and eke out their living. Just grab onto whatever little piece of power they can. It's all toxic and destructive to the human soul. So I try to sit outside of it as much as possible. I'm an outsider. I sever as many dependencies as I can to society and the system so that I can watch it from the outside. It's very lonely. I seem to be the only one that can see these things, or, there's a handful, a sprinkling of other people on the internet that see all the same things that I'm seeing, but we're separated by such vast distances. We're a very small minority. It's hard for us to group up or coordinate or share things really, other than on the internet. So it's lonely. And because of that, I have this incentive to want to share my ideas and maybe show other people what's going on, open their eyes a little bit. Maybe, they have to have seen some things themselves first before you can show them anything else. People aren't just going to 180 degrees out of nowhere, like being totally loving the system, benefiting from it because they're getting power in certain ways. And then you come around telling them, hey, it's better outside the society. They're like, no, what are you talking about? Get out of here. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about those people, but some people who have sensed the poison, who have felt the anxiety every day, felt the powerlessness, felt that they are somehow not in alignment with their own body. They don't feel like they belong here. They feel like something's oppressing them and something's wrong, because it is very wrong. You're feeling it. That's not nothing. That's not just in your head. That's not your own personal failing. That's something real. But it's very hard to see and identify. It's like a ghost. You can't really pick it out and describe it. It's just sort of a feeling, sort of a dread or an anxiety that blankets over your life like a fog. So I spend a lot of time thinking about that and trying to point it out, the different poisons of society and how they creep out and infect people. But here's the problem. Okay, so here's the main problem. Manipulators. There's lots of manipulators in the world, people who are going to try to get some control over your thinking and influence you in ways for their own gain. And one of the main tactics of a manipulator is that they will try to isolate you. They'll try to isolate you from your friends and your family, from all of the structures of support that you have in society. They're going to try to cut all of those off so that they gain sole access to you. They want to be the only point of reality that you go to, so that then they can slowly use that power to get whatever they want out of you, whatever they're trying to get. Manipulators have a lot of different motivations. So people have learned this. People now know, it's pretty common knowledge, hey, if someone's cutting you off from all your friends and family, that's probably a dangerous person, and you probably should not be hanging out with them or doing what they say at all. Like red flag, that's a red flag. Meanwhile, here am I, what am I doing? I'm sitting here saying, hey guys, society's poison. Maybe don't, depend on it for everything. Maybe look at some things. And here I am on the outside. Maybe come out to where I am. Maybe come hang out here. It's not so bad out here. We can sit on the sidelines and kind of watch the world together, and maybe I won't be so lonely. But what does it sound like to them? It sounds like I'm a manipulator. It sounds like I'm somebody who's trying to cut you off from your support, from everything you know, from everything that's safe, from your friends and family. I tell you, oh, your family may be trying to get power over you, or your friends may be selfish in certain ways, and you don't want to hear, well, you may think it's kind of could be half true, but at the same time, it just sounds like I'm someone who's trying to manipulate you. I'm trying to sever your connections, your safety, so that you'll come with me and I can have power over you. And I assure you, nothing is further from the truth. I don't want power over anybody. It kind of sickens me, this whole like power game. I don't want to control anyone. I want people to be autonomous and make their own decisions. I want them to see things clearly and through sort of the authenticity of their heart to make decisions that are beneficial to them and the people around them that they love and things like that. That's what I want. So I'm very different. I'm very different from these manipulators who want power, but it can look very much like I'm the same. Because if you're poisoned by something, what do? Well, the very first thing you have to do is stop taking the poison. Stop taking more poison. That's step one. But even after you stop taking poison, there's going to be poison in your system, and it's going to take a while, some time, for your body to slowly work through all that poison and flush it out of your system and heal you. It takes some time. And the metaphor applies to being infected by the poison of society, where if you've been infected by all these systems of control and power and anxiety, it's going to be in your system. So the first thing you have to do is cut it off. And that sounds like what a manipulator would tell you, is to sever your connections with friends and family. But I'm talking about like all of society, like these power structures. You have to first sever it, but that won't fix it immediately. It will still take time for that poison to kind of get out of your body, for your body to learn that it's safe now and you can relax and these systems of power aren't like assaulting you anymore. And what that can look like to people that are in the system is that I'm telling them, hey, cut off everybody, hang out with me, and just stay like that for a long time. And trust me, bro, it's going to be okay, even though you feel scared. See how hard it is? So it's going to be really hard for me to, I don't want to say convince, because I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just trying to describe what I see, and you can make your own decision. Of course, you're autonomous, you're your own thinking person. If you have the sight to see and you can see some of these things I'm describing, wonderful. Maybe I can help a little bit. But I don't want to control, I don't want to push, I don't want to do anything like that, because people are so sensitive to these aggressive, powerful people pushing their ideas and wanting something from you. Everyone wants something from you. That's part of the poison. That's part of society trying to control you. So when I say things, it may sound like I'm doing those things too, because you're hypersensitive to it. You're always, you have your senses up. You're trying to always sense for danger, like I might be doing that as well. And I assure you I'm not, but I don't want to just tell you that. You have to know that based on your intuition and what you feel about what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm not trying to sever you from friends or family or anything or any systems of support. So sometimes when people engage with like outsider or fringe ideas, they first have to like harness themselves, like they have to put a harness on and attach a rope or a cable to the harness, and they're going to attach that rope to a rock, a firm rock that's in society. Society is going to be their cable and their anchor. They're going to get all their safety from that, but they're going to like slowly dabble and kind of experiment with, oh, what's this outsider stuff? What's this stuff outside the lines? They go out there for a while. And if they ever feel unsafe, they just yank on the rope and pull themselves back into society. Now, if you do it that way, like you're just going to still be poisoned. You're still going to have all the same influence. You're going to be influenced from all these people around you. They're going to tell you, hey, these people that are outside, they're dangerous and you should stay away from them. And you're going to hear that over and over, and you're going to be really influenced by that. Which is, I mean, it's so tough to talk about. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't listen to other people. People have good perspectives, and it's good to be open-minded, but you have to be able to think through a lot of different things. Life is very complicated and confusing. So I'm not saying people should just sever themselves from their harness and just go out into the outsider world like totally without any support. No, that's very dangerous. You're going to run into manipulators. You don't want to do that. But I'm just trying to describe why it's so hard. Why it's so hard to show people this stuff and for them to sort of accept it and understand it at a deep level, like at an emotional level. It's really, really hard to communicate. and convince somebody, and therefore that makes us alone, makes us have to stay by ourselves with all the things that we've seen, because other people are going to have such a difficult time for all the reasons that I mentioned. So yeah, some of my thoughts about how hard it is being an outsider and how it looks like I can be a manipulator. It sucks, it's lonely, but maybe with this channel, little piece by piece, I can build up some trust and show you little things here and there, and maybe it doesn't have to be so scary.